Está bien, surprise me.
Surprise me. Welcome to the Broskiedoodles Podcast. That's how they call it in England, in all of the Scotland region, because this shit is being listened to worldwide. We got people in Belgium. We got people in the Northeast. We got people in Cali, San Francisco, for those of you who don't really know, what the little hyphens mean. Is that what it is? Hyphen? No, hyphen is a line. Welcome to the Broskiedoodles Podcast. It's your boy KIKO Cervantes. We got Chef Maurice in the building. In the Broskiedoodles, we try to have people from all walks of life. People that can do all sorts of things. And you've seen this guy before. This is a world-renowned chef, makes his own recipes, his own things. Very humble, so you won't see him here brag too much. But he know what it is. You're coming from last night's shift. I like to, whenever I have you on, I like to get a little bit of a recollection of what were the last things. I know that yesterday was Mother's Day. So what is a Mother's Day in a restaurant of high cuisine level? What's happening in those moments?
It's terrible. The worst moment ever. Having a shift that has to do with a bunch of moms and a bunch of families. It's hard. It's hard because everybody wants to come in, the whole family, bring the kids. And since it's spicy food, well, a lot of people don't eat it that. People are boring as fuck. Cilantro is too spicy for them.
What?
Yeah, it's very weird. People are very fucking weird. So we have a lot of those. We have a lot of peanut allergy that sometimes we forget, and we send peanut stuff. No, we don't do that.
No, kill those motherfuckers.
Kill those motherfuckers.
If you're allergic to peanuts, I'm sorry.
You're missing on the fun. You're missing on peanut butter.
Bro, in the wild, if you're allergic to peanuts, you just don't make it to the next, stage.
Yeah, basically. There's no point for you on leaving if you don't have any peanuts.
So what you're telling me is that on Mother's Day, you get extremely picky people. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, can you give me a fish bowl but without anything that has fish?
Basically, we have had a lot of those.
I can imagine you guys have like a fishless fish bowl for all you retards out there.
It's very well. At the same time, it's very cool because you see a lot of families and a lot of grandmas and moms, and it's a cute moment. It's a cute moment, but it's a little bit of annoying. It's hard, but we like it. That's what we live for, the moms.
Well, you just told me you didn't like it. So what the fuck is it?
No, we like it. It's hard. It's a tough service. It's a tough service because it's busy. A lot of people who usually don't eat this kind of food want to try something new on Mother's Day or Father's Day, So
nobody gives a fuck about Father's Day.
No. So we try to make it as good and as good an environment and the whole food for them to enjoy and
when it's Mother's Day, do you have any dish that goes out in the form of a penis? No. No, that's too much. Inappropriate. Okay, that wouldn't slide on a Michelin star restaurant.
No, definitely not. No.
Okay. Now, talking about the restaurant life and your restaurant specifically, which we won't say names, of course. But you had a situation, if I'm not wrong, this happened yesterday, where you had some guests come in, right? And it is not a rare case that you get famous people that go into your restaurant because, again, Chef Maurice, you think I'm going to have on my podcast just any chef? No, this is Chef Maurice, renowned, well-known, world-around chef. He's been in the Basque Country. This guy knows. If you know what a Michelin star is, this guy has a bunch of them as trophies. So he knows what the fuck he's talking about. So he has a lot of famous people that go to his restaurant. And yesterday we had a specific famous person that went, which I don't know how famous he is because I didn't know his name. And of course, only share the things that you're comfortable with sharing that won't get you fired. But it brought up a discussion, the fact that this specific artist, rapper, producer is someone that you strongly disagree in the way that he thinks about life, not only politically, but just life, and that you had a bit of an issue. I mean, you did your job, you served him well, but you did have this something inside you that made it hard for you, to be extremely friendly. Like, normally a chef will go and be like, "Oh, I gift you this. I gift you the head of a lobster," but you weren't feeling friendly specifically, right?
It was an easy decision to make, to not gift him anything, because, like you said, I stand against a lot of the stuff that he stands for. Maybe we won't say his name.
Yeah, let's not say. Just to be clear, Mauricio wanted to say a lot of shit, and me.
I wanted to even show a picture of him.
Yeah, we even wanted to show a picture, but for protection of my friend and his job, and also to keep a little bit of decorum, right? We won't say this guy's name. It's not Kanye West famous, but it is a famous rapper.
Which he went to the restaurant as well.
Oh yeah, Kanye West.
Kanye did.
Well. But Mauricio has no problem with Kanye West. Kanye West is cool. But this other guy, I want you to tell us a little bit what it is that you don't like about him, and what was your experience serving somebody that you disagree with so much. And for people that don't understand that, it would be like some of you if you had to serve Donald Trump on your restaurant, right? A lot of you, I'm pretty sure you'll be like, "Oh my God." Well, I want Mauricio to tell us why is it that you don't like about this guy, and how you dealt with it. How was the dynamics of having to serve him amazing high cuisine food?
Well, to start, before service starts, we have a meeting between all the servers, the chef, and the managers. And to be honest, when they were telling us who was coming to eat yesterday night, they named him, but it didn't click in my head who he was. Or maybe I wasn't listening, because most of the times I'm somewhere else.
Okay.
But it didn't click right away who he was. And then when service starts, you're in the past, you're the one who called the tickets out. You get a little post-it saying so-and-so is sitting in table whatever with his family, and he's friends of the owner. So I saw the name right away. I'm like, I know who this motherfucker is. I'm not gonna say, I can't gift him anything because of what he stands for and what we stand for. He, as everybody knows, you and I are from Venezuela. So a couple of years ago, during the whole, I don't know how to call it, thing that happens every 2 years against the government.
Here or over there in Venezuela?
In Venezuela.
Right. So to get people a little bit in context, because the Broskiedoodles, we don't always talk about my background. Okay. I come from a very, very war-torn country. In Venezuela, every 2 years, the war starts again and people start to rebel. And people that aren't too clear on what's going on from the outside, at times may even defend the regime, right? Because the regime in paper is socialist. And people in the left, they want to support socialists. So tell me if I'm not mistaken, this is somewhere how this guy is going with it. So 2 years ago, when there was some sort of protesting going on in Venezuela,
a lot of people being killed in the streets, and then the government probably telling the police to kill people and not wanting to leave government. Anyways, it seems to be happening every 2 or 3 years. So in 2019, when this happened and the whole process started again, this guy came out and he stood for the current government in Venezuela. So Maduro and all the Chavistas and
the Chavez regime, the pieces of shit. For people that don't know anything about the world, pretty much they're pieces of shit. They're friends with Fidel Castro, the guy that died, and Chavez is dead too. So, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, some good things did happen, but there's still a lot of them alive.
Did you celebrate?
Yeah, I celebrate. I celebrate when Chavez died and when Castro died.
Okay. Are you Cuban?
I'm not Cuban, but I'm very close to the Cuban people. Mauricio's half Cuban, and I got a lot of love for the Cuban people.
You're okay. You get some points there. just
No,
because
no,
we're friends.
no, no. Not only. I mean, Cuba's my people. I mean, I said it. You know, it's the same people.
Sere.
Same
Que
people.
hola.
Am I
Well,
gonna be
anyways,
chilling in Hialeah in the evening? No, but do I
no,
like them? I like them.
we don't want to. We don't want to go talk to Luisa. Anyways,
Yeah.
this guy, he came out and he tweeted a bunch of bullshit. And being like very pro government and saying that the starvation that was happening in Venezuela at this time wasn't as bad as the media made it seem. One of the tweets that I was looking for yesterday, he said that maybe you should come to Oakland in California and see how many homeless people are eating out of trash cans and trash bags. And you have to see all the replies from the people, the Venezuelan people, to this guy. Some were very racist, which is very fucked up.
Yeah.
Because this guy is African American, and from what I understand, he's very left, very communist mind. So very weird guy. So he was very critical of the U.S. trying to get involved with the Venezuelan government, Trump at the time. And I think most of it is hatred to the Republicans and Trump. So since Trump had something to say about Venezuela, he had to come out and say something about that. I'm not pro-Trump, but I was for what he was doing in Venezuela. Anyways.
Right. Which, again, for context, Trump was aware of the fucked up things that are going in Venezuela and is against the regime. We don't know if for legitimate reasons or is it that he has a lot of Venezuelan hoes, Hey, I'm just saying, that guy be doing its thing. But, in any case, he wanted to intervene in Venezuela and fuck these people up. So for me and Mauricio, we're the type of people, we love our countries, but if the U.S. is going to intervene and take these motherfuckers out, we prefer that. I know that there's some sort of talk in the world about like, oh, we don't want the U.S. to intervene in shit. And I can understand that in many situations, in most situations. But in Venezuela, we're desperate. We're like, yo, bring the fucking...
Anything.
Yeah, just bring the USA hats. We'll put them on and we'll put a bunch of McDonald's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, so this guy showed up. I get the little paper saying that he was here. Right away, I said no. Nothing was going to be gifted in my name because I don't stand, for what he has said before.
No, but just to confirm, it is a custom to gift something if it's like a celebrity or a friend of the restaurant?
Yes. Mostly if they're friends of the owner or friends of the chefs, we give them something. It's just courtesy and if they're also friends. So what better way to feed them? So the funny thing is that the paper I got was friends of the owner, so-and-so, and how many people were coming to eat, which was him and his family, his daughter and his wife. But yeah, as soon as I saw him, he was dressed very ridiculously, very out there. But yeah, I couldn't gift them anything. I couldn't send them even a small bite because it's not, I couldn't
it goes against.
For what I believe, which, we have to stand for something and I stood for that. And I'm very proud I did, even if it's food and some people might think it's something small, but I think I did something there.
Hey, there's many ways to stand against the regime. What is that saying that if you don't stand up for anything, then you fall for nothing? No, if you don't stand up for something, you fall for anything. Okay.
I try to be as professional as I could. So I made sure I told everybody who this guy was.
Who he really was.
Who he really was. I talked to the other managers and I told them that, what I stood for and who this guy was, and I wasn't going to give them anything. So they're like, okay, you still have to give him something because he's friends of the owner, but you don't have to say it's from you. Because most of the times when we gift them, the server takes it to the table and let them know that, gift from the chef or compliment from the chef or whatever the fuck they say. So I made sure the 3 things that we gifted, it was
Poison.
from the owner. Well, they didn't have a shellfish allergy, so I can neither confirm nor deny. I can neither confirm or deny that something had shellfish on it.
Okay.
But every time we try to send, or they try to send something, even if it was small, I made sure to say, this is not from the chef. This is from the owner. I am not gifting them anything. The server girl came up to me and I went like, tell them to go fuck themselves. Very professional of me. She looked at me. She's like, what? I'm like, well, so I told her the story about how the guy said whatever he said. She's like, oh, okay, I understand. But my friend or my roommate works with him. They're working on a movie or something. So I want to gift them the desserts. I'm like, cool, it's under you. I'm definitely not going to do it for them. But it's hard because I work in the business of, hospitality, being cool to people and serve them and give them a good experience. And I for sure didn't want to sabotage his Mother's Day because he was with his wife and his kid. But I try to act as professional as I could and still
stand
my ground and stand for what I believe but still give him, he paid for the meal. The restaurant made money out of him. Cool. But made sure that my name was not anywhere in between the gift and him.
Do you think, because this is I think it's not the first time we spoke about this on the podcast. Chef Maurice and I, we do a lot of Spanish podcast. He comes on the English one less often. And he's pretty much...
I don't get invited as much.
Yeah, he doesn't get invited as much. But he's pretty much a staple in the Spanish one. So I'm not sure where we talked about this. At this stage, you should listen to both podcasts. And if you don't know one of the languages, you should learn it. Listen to both. Do something.
Maybe let us know.
Yeah, do something with your life. Do something with your life. Learn a fucking language. If you live in Miami or in the U.S., you need to know Spanish if you want to get the good baddies. If you want the big booty Latinas, what the fuck are you waiting for? Okay? You need to speak like this with a Miami accent. You need to speak like Spanish is your second language. Okay? No, but okay, so there's a situation, right, where how important is the artist as an artist and the artist as a person? Because to me, there's a few artists that because of their political or social opinions have fucked up my fandom towards them, right? Like Danny Glover or Sean Penn, right? They have defended the Venezuelan regime for no fucking reason other than they must have been paid millions. Because who the fuck would have thought that Danny Glover and Sean Penn, right, would have anything to do with the fucking Venezuelan regime? When I saw Sean Penn with a Venezuelan socialist regime shirt and speaking in favor, I think it was even in Venezuela that he did it. I was like, yo, what? This is surreal. This doesn't even look like a real thing. And I don't know. I think it depends on how good you are as an artist. With Sean Penn and Danny Glover, people that I used to like, knowing that they support the Venezuelan regime, I can't watch movies from them anymore.
No. Definitely not.
And he fucks it up for me. And I think it depends. Like, for example, Michael Jackson, I love his music so much, and those were my kids. So I kind of don't care, You know what I mean? So it depends. No, it depends.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, you got Chris Brown, right? He beat the fuck out of Rihanna, but he makes fire music and he dances really well. Do we care? I don't know. The thing is, I don't really like Chris Brown's music that much. So then you might care. But I think it has to do with how good of an artist you are. Hey, just give me 1 second. So I just got a delivery for the goodies. I got some liquor.
Coño.
Red Bull para activarnos. Cerveza Sour, no me gusta mostrar la marca porque hasta que paguen.
Tienen que pagar.
Pero bueno, ahí está. Esas. And so what I was saying is that a lot of times, to me, it's like how much the bad they did hits with your soul and how much the good they did hits with your soul. And to us, anyone that supported the Venezuelan regime, to us, is like too much of a pain. Like, no, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I think it depends on how much it hits you or how much it affects you. Because with Michael Jackson, even though they were your kids, so you didn't care because you didn't have anything in common with that. But with Sean Penn and all these motherfuckers, you have the one common thing, which is where you're coming from, where you were born and raised, and seeing how good it was before, seeing how it is now, and why would they support something so bad as what's happening now? So I think that's a factor where we're very radical in that sense. They support it, we're completely against it, and it fucks up everything they have done for us. Everything they have done, movie wise or music wise or whatever it is, it fucks it up because they go against what we like, what we believe, what everything.
Does this fuck it up for you, even with like milder things? Like in the US, there's certain news stations, there's certain like talk shows where the people, you can tell they're very agenda based, like Jimmy Kimmel or what's the other one? John Oliver, which I think is funny, but a lot of it is always on one side. Do you think that fucks it up for you too, as well? Like, for example, what do you think about that?
It also depends, because if it's something like I don't care about, but they're talking about it and they're making it funny, I'll watch it. Maybe I don't support it and it's still funny. Like, Donald Trump is not my favorite guy in the world, but when, they were talking about him in a good or bad way, I would still watch it. Would I stay at the Trump Tower? Probably not. But, it depends how deep it is in me to care about his situation.
So, you wouldn't stay in the Trump Tower?
No.
Why? Because you don't like Trump that much?
I think he goes, well, it depends. He tried to help Venezuela. So in that sense, I'm like, all right, that's good. He tried to help in that sense. So in that way, I'm like, all right, he's trying to do something for... He's trying to be the world police.
So what would you want to stay?
Other stuff that he has done, other stuff that he has said is very ridiculous, and I'm like, maybe I don't support him, and then the way to support him is by spending your money in his hotels or his golf courses. I don't know. You can support people in different ways. It doesn't have to be only political, only Republican or Democrat. But you can support him by staying in his hotel with a weekend and, play golf there and spend all your money. That you support him in that way.
Would you stay in the Biden Tower?
No, fuck that old dude. You know what? Politics is very weird because I don't care about it. I mean, I care about certain things,
right,
that are going to affect me. But most of my political views are Venezuelan based. So I focus more on something in Venezuela, not as much now, but before I used to focus more over there than whatever was happening here. Because here I'm still, I still pay rent and I have money to do whatever I want. If I want to go have dinner, thankfully I've been doing well. So I don't know. It's hard. It doesn't affect me in a way that maybe it does
like,
to other people.
When you're rich, it's just hard to care. It's hard to care. I don't give a fuck who's the president. I got hondos.
I care about the people. I care about the people in Oakland eating out of fucking. But also the state government here is very shitty. So, and they're Democrats. So that doesn't mean I support the Democrats or the Republicans. It's just, right. I don't know. It's a very weird situation with me.
I think in the U.S. it's a lot more complicated. In Venezuela, it's easy to see these are the pieces of shit. We need them out. Yeah. In the U.S., it's a little bit more complicated because there are pieces of shit everywhere. So,
good or right or left.
Yeah, right or left.
There's still pieces of shit.
People that listen to the podcast know that I lean a little bit more to the right, center right. But for example, when I listen to one of these guys, what's the guy from Fox? Not Sean Hannity, but Cooper.
No, Cooper is CNN. Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson. When I hear him,
it's bad.
When I listen to him, a lot of the shit that he says, like I might agree with on the text, right? Like things about that he criticizes on the left, right? But as soon as you start hearing him, you're like, oh, this guy has an agenda, It's so clear. But it's the same with CNN,
Yeah.
It's just the other way around. So, yeah, it's better just to watch things that are independent to get what you want. Like, for example, I have a thing where, like, now it's a very big topic about abortion, right? Roe versus Wade, which was a basketball game that Dwayne Wade won. And since then, abortions are legal. It had to do with somebody going against the state, I think the county. And they made it federally. Roe versus Wade made it federally legal to get abortions. And now they're trying to repeal it. Nevertheless, even though it is legal federally, states such as Texas have been able to make it illegal in the last years, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is my thing, right? And this is like where people minds blows. Like I'm more center right? More conservative. So normally, right? If you follow the rules, I should be against abortion and I should be pro-life, The thing is, again, these are not my kids, so I don't give a fuck what you do with them. You know what I mean? I was even up for postpartum abortion up to 2 years old. If the kid is born before he turns 2, if it's a piece of shit, you can take him back to the hospital.
Gone.
Okay? Now, I come from Venezuela where they don't have a natality problem. They don't have a fertility problem over there. No. They like to fuck. And the more poor you are, the more you like to fuck. And the more poor you are, the more you like to fuck without any preventive measures. Hence, we have a lot of population that grows in families that aren't meant to be having kids, right? Having kids, Chef Maurice, you look at him, he looks like he's one of the homeless guys in San Francisco. But no, this guy is a father. He makes money. He's about to be a papa. A father.
Papa.
Oh, it's a girl, right?
It's a boy.
It's a boy. Papa. So
I'll make it the day he calls me el papá de los helados.
El papá de los ice cream. El papá de los helados. De los helados. So people are listening to me like, yo, what the fuck is this guy talking about? In Venezuela, being the father of the ice creams or el papá de los helados means that you're like the boss, the big boss, Ricky Rouse. So being a father, having a baby is not easy. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time, and I know what it is. Not because of me. I was privileged to have a family that had ways of providing for me, and Mauricio did too. But we know in Venezuela what it is when you're born and you fucking broke as fuck. So it's not a beautiful thing to bring a kid into the world if you're not prepared for it. So to me, I kind of prefer, abort the thing if these kids are not prepared to have another kid.
The thing?
Yeah, like, I know it sounds fucked up. So it's weird because I should be I know, I get it. I'm more to the right, so I should be more like, hey, come on, pro-life. But it's like, nah, bro, that's another burden. That's more burden to the state. That's more tax money.
I see what you're saying. Yes. Definitely. If you're not ready to have the kid, if you're not in the good conditions that you should have, then abort.
I'm not gonna talk about Chef Marie's dog abortion, but all I'm saying is, if you're not ready,
but I did the right thing. I did the right thing.
I did the right thing.
I stood my ground and I made the right decision, and I aborted the dog. He aborted.
And now today, many, many years later, he's able to now have a kid the right way.
Yes. Yes. A lot of work.
But that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a bad person because I had to return the dog. It made me a better person.
No,
father
you grew. I don't think you would be where you are right now, where you are ready to have a kid, if you had not gone through the experience of aborting a dog. I think it's important. Now, on the other hand, you might be like, hey, Kiko, so I don't get this. So you're like more on the Republican side. You want to build the wall, but you also support abortion? Okay, let me get this straight. Let me explain. I support abortion, but you pay for it. The state is not going to pay for it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
In my when I was a kid, if I would have had a situation with an abortion, I called up the girl. I'm like, yo, I got half, you got half. Let's go, let's do this.
But you can go free.
How free?
Push her the
You see?
stairs.
You see?
No, eso no se hace. You don't do that.
You don't do that.
Please.
Mauricio is joking.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. That's not how Mauricio.
We're against this.
That's not how Mauricio solved his first girlfriend problem. That's not how he did it.
Hey. That's between you and me.
Hey. No, look, check it. So, what I'm trying to say here is, on the other side, I also believe that kids should be when I say kids, it's because these are the ones that are fucking and having these things, I mean, when you're 18 and that shit is just like, pew, 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 pew. When these kids are having sex, they gotta be responsible. And if they fuck up and somebody's pregnant, they need to be accountable. So I also believe that it's not like you can just get the abortion, like no problem. No. You get your license and you got 3 strikes. Okay? You got your punch card, you get 3 abortions. Use them wisely. You know what I mean?
Use them wisely, indeed.
Don't be using fucking 2 abortions in the first 3 months.
So you're telling me we have to go to the DMV of abortions. So everybody gets their license. Kiko, he lives here. He has 3 strikes. So when you go to the abortion clinic, they punch out the card. They punch it out. What's the process? I want to know the process of the abortion.
When you go into the abortion clinic, right? And in the meantime, you can think of a name, like a nice name that you would put to the abortion clinic, and you get your membership card, your loyalty card, and you go and you get you have 3. You get assigned 3 abortions per profile. And whenever you need one, you can even schedule them through the app. It's going to be very advanced through the app. It will ask you, okay, you have 3 remaining. You can book it. Boop, 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 boop. In one center, do you want to go? This one. Do you want to do it the modern way or with a clothes hanger? Okay, you decide. And then the day that you decide, you go. There's also the Venezuelan way, which is Malta and Cambur, which is a beverage and banana. The people say there that will end the problem. But in my experience, don't do that. You will still have the baby, but he will be weird.
Do you think you have lost kids? Like, you don't know you have them, but they're somewhere out there.
Me, in my case, I've thought
Maybe
about
one of
it.
your,
I've thought
maybe a
about
couple
it.
of girlfriends.
I've thought about it, but I've been a very clean boy. I've been a very good boy. Okay? I didn't sleep around like many people would think. Contrary to popular belief, I didn't fuck 1,000 women. You know what I mean? So, but there are some that I've thought of like, damn, that one time, what if there was a kid out of that? But so long has gone by that I'm like, that kid will be 18 now. Now he can get his own job. I ain't gonna fucking maintain his ass. Get the fuck out of here. That's it. But no, I don't think I have a kid out there.
How about we name it Abortions Are Us?
Coño. Abortions are us.
Or going in that line, maybe baby, bye bye baby. So there's a store actually called Bye Bye Baby, BUI.
Really?
BUI Baby. So it's like a baby store, but this one we call it Bye Bye Baby.
Bye bye, baby.
BYE. BYE.
Yeah.
BYE.
I think it's family friendly.
The whole family can come to your abortion and make it a.
They have like
make it an
this.
experience.
They have this specific rooms that you book for it, and I think it's like a nice experience. You make it like make an activity out of it, like escape room. And at the end, when you find it, it's a little box with the remainings. Okay, look, so hey, this is all jokes. I'm just saying these are ideas. These are ideas that people can use. Okay. All right. So no, I think that's no. We're good. We're good. We want to thank everybody that listened today. Chef Maurice. You know, when he comes through, things get a little wild, but it's all good. It's all fun and games. Nobody got hurt. Okay, nobody got hurt in the Bye Bye Baby clinic. You know, you can. Like I said, you get a loyalty card with 3. Use them wisely. You don't get repeats after that. All right. Well, thank you for listening and tuning in. Comment on it. You know, if you've ever gotten one and how did it go? What would be your own additions and names to the clinic if we were to do, you know, like a Broskiedoodles, you know, clinic, you know, to set it up like as a private company. You know, maybe if Roe versus Wade is going out, then maybe this is gonna be a private business that can really, you know, get high, you know, in the stock market. We can. Babies are us, you know. I'm just saying. Peace.